obviously. We're going to cover chicken marinade for a buttermilk marinade for the chicken. And we're going to go over how to prepare a brisket for smoking all the way to the end product for the sandwich. So we have our brisket here. It's one I had left over from last year that I had to freeze. So it's been thawed and bled out. So it's all nice and good to go. So we're just going to go and trim it up. You don't want to remove all the fat, but some of it. So normally I'll save some fat for sausages, which I'll be making this year at a later video. But because I will be doing more briskets before I open, we're just going to go ahead and toss it because it's actually quite full of fat. I could actually, if I wanted to, roast it off and use it to make a stock, but the problem with that being that the fat will render, and I will be left with maybe 1 liter of fat, 3 liters of stock, or fat, sorry. So as you can see, I'm taking it down a little bit more than I want to, but that's all right. Just want to get rid of the sinewy stuff here. So brisket needs to be cooked low and slow. It's not like a roast we can put in the oven for a few hours and it's done. We'll go over later, but I usually cook my briskets for about 14 hours, but I smoke them for about 8. And then I have a sham, a special oven in my kitchen, that will cook them low and slow and then hold them at a specific temperature for a few hours. And for every hour it cooks, see, this is, you don't want this. Every hour it gets held for, it just helps make it more tender and juicy. So we're going to get rid of this right here. It's tough being left-handed with this. I think I could just rotate the knife. That's true. Okay. Let's get rid of this piece here. So let's see. It's all fats. You got a little bit of meat. I'm not worried about that. In fact, I actually might just turn that into a bit of a stock. And then, so if you flip your brisket over, as you can see right here, this is a big piece of fat, and also this is a big fat cap. So you're just going to want to trim that up. I don't really need that. Just guide your knife along with that, pulling away. And the fat's going to run through the whole thing, so you can't get it all. And people are like, oh, brisket is so fat. Well, the fat does a few things. It helps add flavor, but it also adds moisture as it cooks. So you don't want to remove it all. You can remove it once it's done cooking, because brisket is 2 muscles in one. So you got this muscle here on the bottom, and then this muscle on the top, which has a connector right here. So you separate that, you got the top and the bottom. Now, the top piece, the grain runs this way. The bottom piece, the grain is running this way. You can see the grain right there, running that way. This one actually, this one's all running the same way. So, let's just trim this bad boy off. Right here. Yeah. Brisket, until I started working at this golf course, which is where I'm the executive chef, I only had brisket every once and a while. Once I developed my own recipe, I started eating it a little bit more. I don't eat a lot of red meat anymore. I recently lost 30 pounds. I primarily stick to lentils and that, but I do enjoy a good piece of brisket on some marble rye. A nice grainy mustard. Alright, let's just get rid of this piece. I don't like the way it looks. Okay, so There's our quickly framed brisket. As you can see, the grain running on the meat right there. So what we're going to do next is we are going to make our brisket rub. And actually, I see a piece I missed right here. Alright, so I'm going to take the trimmings, boot them down here. I'm going to grab my hotel pan. Put this guy in there right now. Great. I'm gonna go get I got some gloves here. We'll switch to the white gloves. I got a bowl. Now, my brisket rub is made in-house. I cheat with my smoke a little bit. I have a little bit of hickory smoke spice. So we're just gonna put a little bit of that in there. That's probably 2 tablespoons. So when I'm making the brisket rub, I'm not making for one brisket. I usually have 6 or 7 to do at a time. Now this is a charcoal spice. Okay. I usually use it for my fry season. That was a 2-ounce portion cup. I probably took 1 ounce out of that. Got some granulated garlic. Not too much. A little bit of pepper. Thing I need to go find is the salt. My kitchen is actually a horrible mess right now because I'm expecting some new equipment. It came in, but the freezer doors on my equipment are all backwards. So let me go grab the salt and a whisk. Move that up. Okay, so we've got sea salt. Now you don't want to put a lot of salt in your rub. It's going to draw the moisture out of the meat. Since I'm not going to be smoking this until tomorrow or Wednesday, today is Monday, my first day back at work. It's the weekend. Alright. Charcoal spice. Now I could add brown sugar to it, but I find that because I'm going to be trying a few different ways of doing this brisket, I'll be cutting it in half. I'm going to try one piece in a pressure cooker and another piece after the whole thing's smoked in the sham. So I'm going to do the pressure cooker for one, the sham for the rest, see which works out best. Let's just grab us some gloves. Okay, these are large. Turn your head and cough. Okay, so 1 glove. Oh, ripped glove. Let's grab another one there out of the box. Oh my god, these gloves suck. Alright, forget it. Let's do it like this. Alright, so you take your brisket. Because I've only made enough for one brisket here. Apply it liberally. Okay. Rub your meat. Rub it in, rub it in, rub it in, rub it in. Okay. Okay, and then you flip it over. Get this little crack here. Get some in the crack. Don't be afraid to rub the crack. Everyone's always afraid of the crack. Don't fear the crack. Okay? Sorry. Alright. So there is our rub brisket. You can see the charcoal is activating. Get it all nice in there. Alright, so we've got our brisket. We have got our rub on. Give me 2 seconds and we'll go to the next step. Just get this out of the way. my next step, because I'm not in a hurry to cook this, I am going to let it cure overnight. So I've got some saran wrap here. Okay. I'll grab my brisket, put her down. We're just gonna wrap it up. In some saran wrap. Keep the air out. Like that. Okay, who's next? Alright. Oh. Alright. I just got a text. We may be open on Saturday. Take a fresh hotel pan, put it in. You're gonna put it in the fridge for at least 24 hours. You can go longer, I wouldn't. 24 hours, you can go 10 hours if you want. Pretty sure most people aren't buying briskets this big. Our next step, which you will see, is the meat going on the smoker. That will be... Alright.
It's not every day that ordinary people get to put a life-saving cause on the map. But today...
Brisket has marinated for 24 hours. So, remove the plastic wrap. Oh, it smells so good. You know what I'm gonna do? I got a glove up. No love without the glove. Okay, so so I just actually noticed there's a little bit of fat here. I'm just going to trim that off. So this part's not going to be that seasoned, but it's alright because it'll absorb more smoke. We'll get that nice ring. Okay, just going to throw that up. Good. So our next step is to turn on the smoker and get it up to heat, and then I will show you that process. Alright, so we have our brisket in the pan, ready to go. I cut it because I need a little piece for an experiment. Another piece I'm going to smoke. I'm going to smoke both pieces. This is what I told you about, the muscle. There's one part there, see how that way's running? And then the bottom part there is running a different way. So let's go out to the smoker, which is now up to temperature. Come walk with me. Alright, so we're at our smoker. Nice little Traeger. Alright, so take your meat, let it on. Okay, put it on. Sometimes I do a mop. Today I'm not going to. I'm just gonna hold you for a second like that. So I can take off my gloves. Okay. Well, obviously we smoke outside. So that's that. And my smoker is a vanilla smoker. This is a mesquite pellet. I have cherry, apple. Sorry, this isn't a mesquite. This is the Texas barbecue blend. That's right. Yeah, that's the Texas barbecue blend. So this is my smoker. Now that is going to sit on there for probably about 3 hours and smoke up really nice and good, get us a nice smoke ring, and then move on to the next step. Alright, let's have a little check. It's been about 2.5 hours. Done. They've got a nice bark on them. Yeah. You can alternatively do is mop them with barbecue sauce as well, but that's not something I need to do. So next, let's take these back in the kitchen. I'll show you how to wrap them. All right. Our brisket is smoked for 3 hours. Now we're going to wrap it and get it ready to go into the Alto sham. If you don't have a sham, you can put it in your oven at 220 degrees for about 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours. Okay, so to start, you've got a piece of parchment paper. Take your brisket, which is off the smoker, put it on the parchment. Move this out of the way.
So, how long are you going to be here?
2 hours, one.
Is there somebody on the phone who wants to bring samples for you?
Alright.
I'll just tell her till 5?
Yeah.
5?
Alright. That. Actually, you know what we're going to do? Move that off. Make our lives a little easier. Pull some saran wrap down. Take the brisket there. And that. That. Up. Hold it under. Grab the other one. Hold that. Now, ordinarily I do this with double-sided butcher paper, but I don't have any right now. Okay? So we do that. And over the top. Well, saran wrap will not melt. It will like vacuum pack onto the brisket, but then it just becomes brittle and you just pull it off. Okay, so you got that wrapped like that, and then you take some aluminum dippings. Sorry. Shiny side in. Now when I leave work tonight, I am going to put this in my sham, set for about 6 hours, and then set a holding temperature for about 140 degrees, and that will hold for another 6 or 7 hours until I get back to work in the morning. And by then this will be cooked. I can pull it, let it rest, take all this off, and slice it up. It's D-Day for the brisket. Time to reveal what we got. So, I don't have a rack for my grill pan, so I just did this. Ordered, did you save it? So it was in the sham for cooking for 7 hours and then holding for another, well, about 9 because I had traffic issues. It snowed here last night, so people are driving a bit stupid. So let's just pull that sucker out. Now don't throw away your liquid. I'm just trying to get it so it dumps underneath. So the reason you don't throw away your liquid is because you can use that when you're reheating it. Throw a little bit in the pan, get it boiling, toss your brisket in. So, this is our brisket. Nicely cooked. Let's cut into this bad boy. See what we got. Oh yeah. So you can see the nice smoke ring. That's just from 3 hours. Sometimes I'll go 6. It's nice and tender. My goodness. That's so good. Okay. So, eating brisket at 9:30 in the morning. So, cut yourself off a nice little portion. Get yourself a nice rye bread, Dijon mustard, a little bit of sauerkraut, maybe a pickle. Make yourself a nice sandwich. There you go. And there you go. There we go, yeah. And that's how you do the brisket. That's all I got for that. Next up, we're going to continue with the waffle slider recipes. I'm going to do a bacon stream, sausage stream, and we'll do some more sushi streams, some soup. We'll have some fun with it. It's going to be a good year. Well, the other side, I should show you that. So, remember I told you about the 2 different muscles. Okay, you can see that one going that way, that one's that way with a layer of fat in the middle. Now the way to deal with that is you run a knife like that. So there. That's like that.